Harry, how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many genders are there?
What's the legal? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least 2.
In this video, Dave Rubin and soy boy Harry Sisson joined the panel on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Dave Rubin and Harry Sisson get into a heated debate over Donald Trump's executive order stating that there are only 2 genders. With that, let's watch Dave Rubin literally crush Harry Sisson so badly that he's pushed to the brink of tears.
More than 2 genders in America.
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means there are 2 genders, male and female. Do you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able to
Harry, how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many genders are there?
What's the legal? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least 2. At least 2. That satisfies.
Well, how many more other than male and female?
That's a TikTok answer.
There's at least 2.
Yeah.
There's at least 2.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and female.
Kid is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are 2.
Okay, Dave.
How
Russian
many
Rubin,
more
come
are
on
there
now.
after male and female, Harry?
There's at least 2. Now, anyway, let me get back to what I was
at
saying.
least
How many
2?
more are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least 2.
What are the other
Two.
ones?
Harry, let's try it this way. You're a female. What is the other gender?
It's so funny. It's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they all interrupt and there's no problem.
Question.
You've just been asked a very
And
simple
I'm trying to have
question,
a
Harry.
conversation with
How
Piers,
many
not you,
genders there
Mr.
are?
Como. Relax for me.
Harry,
Take a
you
breather.
simply
Thank
got
you so
asked
much.
if there are at least 2 genders, how many more
Wait,
are
Piers,
there than male and female?
Piers, you asked me about Donald Trump's executive order. I'm trying to explain how legally it makes absolutely no sense and it's going to get sued in court. Then we go into culture wars with Dave Rubin and this Ferguson guy asking how many genders are there. I'm trying to answer your question. They're screaming their faces off about issues that don't fucking matter.
I'm asking you.
Oh God, this child.
And Piers,
I'm asking you, Harry.
Piers,
how many genders
and I'm
are
answering
there?
your question.
Harry,
Piers, I've answered your question.
Harry, how
There
many
are
genders
at
are
least
there?
2. There are at least 2.
2 or at least
Are
2?
there 100?
Hang on,
Are there
Ben.
100?
Hang on, Ben. I've got
More
this.
or less than 100?
Can I answer the question?
Yes,
for
Cornell.
Brother Harry?
Answer the question.
Can I answer the question
Yes.
for Brother Harry? Because
7?
Brother Harry trying
Yes,
to hold
help
on.
him out, Cornell.
That according to Shakespeare, all of us are androgynous.
Hey, Cornell, I don't think anybody gives a shit what Dr. Shakespeare says, but thank you. This is pretty effing funny, dude. They're throwing ad hominems at each other, but Dave Rubin got some good ones in, man. He said, all right, Harry, you're female. What's the other gender? How is it that conservative gay men are more masculine than straight liberal men? Unless I'm missing something, it's pretty clear why he won't answer the simple question, right? Because if he tells the truth, every left-wing loser will attack him. But if he gives the answer that his crazy peers on the left want, he'll look like a complete clown on this show, more than he already does. I mean, he really, really looks bad right now. This just highlights the dishonesty of the left, man. Just can't answer a question because they need to politicize everything. It's so dumb. And then you've got Cornel West coming in to try to help him with maybe the worst case I've ever heard in the history of this argument. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
There are men and there are women. There are different sides of human beings, all made in the image of a God that has a dignity and a sanctity. And if you're going to try to start demonizing precious trans folk, then I'm going to be fighting. But it's not. But
okay, Cornell, I agree with them. I agree with them. I agree. Don't
this
demonize
is all
trans
the left
folks, but
has
there is an
left.
executive
It's really
order I take
I've got to
issue
say, the torturous
No, that's not
answers.
all the left has left. We got a whole lot
I think when
more
you're
waiting for
reduced
you,
to
Brother
quoting
Rubin. You
Shakespeare,
just watch.
Cornell, when you're reduced to quoting Shakespeare
Empire,
about gender.
But it's going to be humanistic across
Look
the
at
board.
this cult member out there with so many MAGA hats. Take them off your head, buddy. It's weird.
I'm
Take
just
them off
showing
your
why
head.
we won, bro.
Nobody's demonizing the weak.
How
I'm
many
for
genders there
girls
are.
playing girls in
Winning
girls
at the
sports.
moment doesn't mean that you're right, brother. Just because you won at the
Dave,
moment
how many
doesn't mean
trans
that you're
athletes
right.
are in college
you know
sports?
that. You know that from
Cornell,
history.
Dave Rubin, how many trans athletes are in college sports? Does anybody know? Anybody here?
If there's one biological male beating a girl in a sport,
Yeah,
it's
look
one
at this.
too
This
many.
guy has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Now, can we get back to the executive orders I disagree with by any chance?
Yeah, sure. But what about that one, about the 2 genders?
Yeah.
I can't work out.
The 2 genders. Let's go back to that.
Well, hang on. I can't work out whether you agree or disagree. Donald Trump says specifically, Harry, there are 2 genders, male and female. That's it. You think there are at least 2, which normally means there are more than 2. So what are the others?
Interpret as you will, but I think
no,
that
you tell
executive
me.
order is stupid.
Tell me, what are the others?
I've given you my answer.
What are the others?
Baby.
You can interpret
Give
that
us
as you
another
will.
answer.
What are the other
You guys can run
genders?
wild with interpretations here. I'm
Harry,
telling you my answer is at
Harry,
least 2. Now,
Harry.
on the legitimacy of the
I'm trying
executive
to
order,
be-
it
I'm
makes no
trying to be
sense. What's
humane.
legal mechanism for enforcement?
Harry,
That's what I'm
This
asking.
is why I hate TikTok babies.
Harry, when you say there are at least two
Be
genders,
quiet. Ted.
With all due respect to Mr. West, you might be androgynous. I can tell you I am certainly not. And then he said something like, we're going to fight if you demonize trans folks. How is it demonizing to tell the truth? Literally, I'm 99% sure trans hasn't been even mentioned by peers or any of the conservatives on this panel. But that executive order, Donald Trump's just stating a fact. No one is demonizing trans folks. What I will demonize is anyone pushing an ounce on this nonsense to children. What I will demonize is high school female athletes being hurt by a male athlete so we can be, quote unquote, inclusive. Give me a break. And Cornel West said, winning doesn't mean you're right. No, you're right. He's absolutely right. But if you have eyes, ears, and a brain and the ability to use logic, that would tell you unequivocally that we're right. So they've asked him maybe 470 times, how many genders are there? And he said at least 2. Okay, so if there are more, what are they? And he says, interpret as you will. Harry, pal, how old are you? Like 16? You're not good at this, but it's okay. You're very, very young. I'm sure you're a bright kid. You still have time to find your calling, but this ain't it. You're so bad at this. In fact, you're not even making any effort to disguise the left's usual playbook of not answering a question and desperately trying to shift the conversation to get into your talking points that support your insane narrative. Stop doing this. Find a new career. It's brave that you tried, but we've all had our laughs now. Let's let the adults talk. Let's get back to the video.
Cruz's buddy over here with the comb over needs to be quiet.
Is Piers talking
relax.
to you?
I know there's
simply want
two
to know,
genders.
Harry. You said you wanted to go back to the list of executive orders, whether you agreed or not. You say
You
there
have
are.
my answer, Piers. My answer doesn't change.
No, but your answer doesn't make any sense. What do you mean?
It's
at least
stupid. It
two?
doesn't make any sense.
Piers, you can think my answer doesn't make any sense. You're going to ask me the question again. We're going to go back and forth. I'm
No,
going to
I'd
give you
like
the
you
exact
to
same answer.
explain what
It
you
makes
mean.
no sense.
No,
This executive order is
I'm asking
nonsense.
you what you mean by at least two genders.
I'm saying at least 2.
What does that mean?
At least there are. What do you? What's the? I'm not sure what you're confused
Does
about.
that
At
mean there are
least
more
2.
than 2, or there are
There's
2?
at a minimum. There's at a minimum 2.
This is exactly why the
This
Democrats
is it.
on
Yes.
these issues got
Yes.
You
themselves
guys are
into
such
so much
losers.
difficulty
You guys are such
because they
losers.
literally
We
cannot
literally
explain
just
what
went
they're
over
talking
that
about.
shit.
Trump is a
If there's any
convicted
day
felon.
not to
Don't
call
talk
us
to Piers.
losers,
All right,
it's
don't all
the
shout.
day we
I want
just
Dave
kick your
Rubin to
ass.
respond. Dave Rubin, this to me is exactly why the Democrats lost the plot. They can't
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
even
Yeah,
explain
look.
what they mean when they say this crap.
Look, Harry perfectly exemplifies everything wrong with the modern left and the Democrat Party. He can't tell you how many genders there are, and then all he can do is hurl insults. That's exactly what the Democrats and the
Weren't you
media
just calling me a
machine
child
has
earlier?
done. For you are a
Is the
child. That's not an
hypocrisy
insult.
not
You're a child.
astounding?
How old are you?
Is
12?
the hypocrisy not
Anyway,
astounding? Do you
listen.
feel no shame when you say
Listen.
something like that? Is
Listen,
the hypocrisy
hush,
not absolutely
hush.
astounding, Dave?
Be quiet. Get a job, kid. Listen,
Look,
this
look,
is
you're
exactly
doing it
this,
right
this
now.
smug,
You're doing it right now,
nonsensical
Dave.
drivel is
Oh,
what
the
everyone hates.
hypocrisy is astounding.
Piers, if you may remember, what was it, a few months ago, I think it was a day before Joe Biden stepped down when Harry and I were on the panel,
Yeah.
and he was saying how brilliantly sharp and never sharper. He's, oh my God, his brain is so great. Joe Biden is the best. And then the next day,
They
he
did
gets
hire
the talking
TikTokers
points
to
from
say
the
that,
DNC.
in all fairness.
And he's yes, they pay these people. It's as simple as
Yeah,
that.
they
That's
pay
why he
TikTok
can't
pays
tell
a
you
lot of money
how
to
many
say that.
genders there
Russia
are.
pays conservative commentators.
All right, let me ask
Never
Dr.
been
Cornell. I
paid
want to
by
bring
Russia,
Cornell
big
back.
dog.
there. I
Russia.
want-
It would be one thing if this kid like behaved above his actual age. You know, he seemed more like an adult. You know, some young people are like that, but his response to these very simple question is, "You guys are losers." Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I hate the word cringe, but I'm really cringing watching this. It just blows my mind that people like this guy have any viewers because, like Dave said, he was licking Joe Biden's balls like a minute before he stepped down telling everyone how sharp he was and all that. He just said to them, don't you have any shame? Don't you? Do you know what embarrassment feels like? Honest to God, I'm envious of people that don't feel shame or embarrassment, because it would save me a lot of introspection in my life. But they don't have it, and they keep spouting the same stuff and then just project their garbage onto the right. But we want to hear from you. What did you think about this debate over how many genders there are between Dave Rubin and Harry Sisson? Let us know. Anyway, as always, we really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.